All right. So it is 2021. Up to this point, I've been putting out a lot of content that I recorded previously, but this is kind of, as we move into the new year, this is kind of where I'm going to start trying to release these classes pretty regularly. So hopefully shooting for like 5 a week. And I would love to connect with you guys. So thank you for following me if you are at this early stage, and tell your friends if you can share this content with other people. I'm putting this out there to help people get into yoga. So if you feel like it's helping you, hopefully it'll help somebody else too. But yeah, thanks for your support, and here's to an awesome 2021. So let's get down to it because I'm cold. So I want to start moving around a little bit. Let's start in child's pose. Just let your hips sink back towards your heels. So work on walking your feet out a little bit wider too. So normally this is like narrow feet, wide knees kind of a position, but we're going to use this as more of like a transitory pose, just for all intents and purposes of warming up. So as you relax your forehead down, just let yourself rest for a breath or two. Now start to crawl your hands a little bit further forward. So as we start warming up into the shoulders, the back, we're going to use this kind of sliding forward motion to get everything working a little bit. So big inhale. Now with your exhale, just let your chest drift in between your hands, lower your belly down, find a little lift. So notice barely any hands here. Tops of the feet down if you want to, or toes tucked, you choose. Big inhale. Exhale, press down just enough so you can push back. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale, slide forward. Exhale, back. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Notice I'm getting a little bit higher in that cobra each time. Inhale, slide through. Just a little bit more lift. Exhale, all the way back. This time, tuck your toes, come to a downward facing dog position. So as you pedal your feet out a little bit, just feel your hamstrings. Relax the back of your neck. Now let's roll through a plank position into like an upward facing dog kind of deal, except my toes remain tucked under, so I'm pressing the pads of my feet down, or the pads of my toes down, rather than the top of my feet. Let's do that transition 3 more times. So inhale, up and back. Exhale, forward and down, just letting your hips drift. Listen to what your low back's telling you. If this is too low, then maybe just stay here, or maybe just find a plank position. 2 more. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, lean forward. Hips towards hands. Last one. And let's just find a hold here. Press through your fingertips. So even if you're in a plank position, imagine you're trying to drag your hands back. So same here. If you're in this up dog position, pressing down, a little pull. Roll the heads of your shoulders back. You're wrapping your triceps in towards the side of your rib cage. Squeeze your butt a little bit to help your low back up. Press the ground away in either position. Now we'll all meet in a plank. So no matter what other versions you took there, find in a plank pose. Take 5 big breaths. Think about getting higher onto the tips of your toes. So notice I'm just kind of drifting over my fingertips. A little bit of rounding in the upper back. Keep your core engaged. So you should feel your pelvic floor drawing up and in. Squeeze your butt a little bit. Squeeze the fronts of your thighs. Lower body is engaged as well. Inhale 1 more time. Exhale, set your knees down. Just bring yourself all the way up to a kneeling position. So let's just take some kind of like modified camel pose type variations. So first one, sink your hips down towards your heels. So notice my toes are tucked under. Place your right hand on the back of your right heel. Reach your left hand up. So you're going to feel like a very modest kind of side bend here. Now, again, listen to your back as you come into this one. Start to lift your hips up and forward. It's taking a little lateral, like a back diagonal back bend. Maybe let your head drift down so you're looking back towards your right hand on your heel. And then bring it down and switch. Left hand down, right hand up. Take a big breath in, puff out your chest a little bit. Exhale, lift up. Let's do 1 more each side. Inhale, hips down. Exhale, left hand comes up and back. This time maybe bring your fingertips to the back of your head. So here you're kind of exaggerating that elbow drawing across. Feel a stretch along the front of your left hip. And then back down, switch sides, left hand down, right hand comes up. And again, opening up through the armpit, drawing your elbow back. Keep that back hand nice and light. And then sinking your hips back and down. Okay, arms extend out in front of you. So let's just start by just kind of working into this position, just kind of lifting the knees up. So if you're just beginning, maybe just lifting one knee at a time is a little bit more approachable. It's gonna be kind of hard on your toes, especially if you're on a hard floor. If you can, get a little hang time. Lift your knees up and then gently set them back down. So whatever degree you're working through, just getting those little toesies working a little bit, gripping the ground. Notice as I talk too much, I find that I'm losing my balance a little bit. Pick an arm position that helps you get up here, whatever that might be. Now this last one, let's hold. Maybe bring your hands to a prayer position. So you're stacking your heels over your toes, your hips over your heels, your shoulders over your hips. Okay, now this is where it's gonna get real weird. We're gonna come back onto our heels into a little squat position. So reach your arms forward to counterbalance. See if you can set your heels down. Okay, now back up toes, back down heels. If you can't do this right away, obviously you're practicing at home, so you can put your hands down like I just did. Let's just do it 3 more times. I know your toes are talking to you. You feel those muscles in your shins. That's by design. Once more. Okay, big inhale. Now this time as you set your heels down, we're gonna stand all the way up. So heels down, stand up. Take a second, shake your legs out a little bit. I hate to tell you this, but we're gonna do the same thing going up and down. I know it sounds like a lot, just do the best you can. So arms extend forward, sink down into that squat. If you need to use your hands a little bit, if you need to use some yoga blocks, please do. Now we're gonna come all the way through, knees down, and then back, heels down, press up. Okay, 3 more times. And remember, the reason I'm putting these out as videos are for you to practice, so you can watch these as many times as you want. So if it's not quite in your practice today, maybe try some of the easier ones, come back to it later. Okay, 1 more time. Heels down, stand all the way up, reach. Bring your right hand to the back of your right thigh, reach your left hand up and across. So it's kind of like that camel pose we did earlier. Engage through your legs, squeeze your butt a little bit, really reach through those left fingertips. Again, maybe let your gaze drift down towards the right back corner of your mat. Inhale. And with your exhale, pull it back up. Same thing, other side. Bring a little engagement into your belly so your rib cage isn't tilting way back. Press the ground away, squeeze the mat with your toes. Inhale 1 more time. Exhale, both hands up, interlace your fingers, press your palms towards the ceiling, maybe look up towards your knuckles. Inhale again. Exhale, bend your elbows, release, arms high, chair pose. Bring your biceps back by your ears. If this is too much for your shoulders, hands in prayer position is totally fine too. So narrow, but maybe not too narrow. If it feels better to have your feet wider, that's totally fine. Remember, part of yoga is listening to what your body needs. Sink down a little bit deeper. And a little bit deeper. Now we're just like halfway into that full squat. If this feels like your limit and your knees are starting to irritate you at all, just stay right here. If you feel like you got more room, bring it all the way down. Extending your arms forward once again. So if you're up in this chair pose, maybe just bring your hands down. If you're all the way down in the squat, bring your hands down too. And we're gonna crawl forward. Instead of letting the knees touch the ground, the knees are in that same pattern we were in before. We're just gonna project forward into a plank pose. Inhale, lean into it a little bit. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, slide through, cobra pose, up dog, a little back bend. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up high. Exhale, right foot to the outside of your right hand. Grab your inner ankle and just kind of push a little bit. So you're actually using this elbow to kind of draw your knee out a little bit wider. Back leg straight and engaged, but you're just kind of letting your hips drift down. So staying focused here. You're going to notice the more you squeeze your left butt cheek, the more you're going to feel a stretch in the front of your left hip. Maybe turn and look up over your right shoulder. And then release. Palms down, step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Pedal your feet out a little bit. One more time, left leg, left hand, step it down. Right hand down for support. Grab your left ankle and just lean out into the side a little. Just kind of going through all these different positions that we can work into with our legs today. And again, lean into it. Little twists, maybe looking up over your shoulder. Inhale again. Exhale, both hands down, step back, plank position. This time again, lowering down. Slide through. Downward facing dog. Big inhale, lift your right leg up. This time, knee to nose, step it through your thumbs, set your back foot down on the ground. Fingertips down, tiptoe your foot forward to touch. Peel your toes back, inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, just start straighten your front leg. So if you're super tight in the hamstrings, which most people are, so work on bending and straightening your leg a couple times. So it's more of an active stretch. Rather than just trying to jam your knee straight, which is no good for pretty much anything, just gradually working into it and finding your limit, seeing where that tension really resides. All right, when you find a sticky spot, let's hang out and hold. Focus on pulling your toes back, spreading your fingers out, your toes out, just like what you would with your fingers. Left hand down, right hand slowly reaches up if you feel like that's something that you feel comfortable doing. Long spine, relax your shoulders a little bit. Draw your right hip back, peel your chest open to the right. Inhale one more time. Exhale, both hands down, rebend your knees, slide it back. Back toes tucked, back knee lifts. Low lunge position, so light on the fingertips, making that connection from chest to thigh. Inhale, looking forward just a little bit. Exhale, left leg up, standing split. It's a single leg forward fold, so you can grab your ankle with one or maybe both hands if you feel like that's in your practice today. Use all 5 toes, also spreading the toes of your left foot up in the air. Reach a little bit higher, fold in a little bit more. Inhale one more time. Exhale, hands down, gently step your left foot back, right leg up and back. Bend your knee, kick behind you. You're stacking your hips. Think about squaring through your shoulders. Inhale again. Now with your exhale, swing your right knee in towards the center of your mat. Left knee behind right, so your knees are crisscrossed. Just sit back a little bit. So everybody's at a different point in their practice. You're going to feel a stretch in your hips either way. If you can sit all the way back onto your butt without too much effort, you can wind up here. Remember, this is a short class, so don't force anything. We're not really all that warm. This is just kind of something to get you moving a little. If you're hanging out here, work on your arm position. Notice if you crawl your hands over to the right a little bit more, you get that nice stretch in the outer left hip. Good. Inhale one more time. Exhale, hands underneath your shoulders. Same way we got into it. Left foot steps back, right leg up and back. Set your right foot down next to your left foot. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, swing it forward, back knee to the ground. So coming into your half splits again, tiptoe your foot forward until you find some length. If you have long legs like me, you might need a little bit more room. Pull your toes back, chest lift. And again, either just hang out where you feel a nice stretch, shouldn't be like 100% stretch, something that's approachable, or just bend and straighten a few times and just kind of let your tight hammies know that you know about them. Let's take about 3 more breaths, either hanging out static or moving around a little bit. Now when you're ready to find something that you want to hang out with, just stay there, find some length in your spine. Maybe left hand drifts up to the sky. Again, left hip draws back, peel your toes back. For 3, 2, and 1. Both hands down. Slide your foot back if you need to. Find your low lunge. Again, we're taking off from here. See if you can make that shoulder to thigh connection right off the bat. Inhale, look forward a little bit, find some length, and then just lean into it. Right leg comes up. Again, you just got about 5 breaths here to play around with grabbing something. If you want to grab your ankle, one or both hands. Find that focused attention for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fingertips down, step back carefully. Left leg up and back. Bend your knee, kick back behind you like you're trying to put a footprint on the wall to the right of your mat. Soften your jaw, your neck, your shoulders. Take 2 more big breaths here. Start to square off your hips. Set your left foot down next to your right foot. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, slide through. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep pressing back. Bend your knees. Hop forward. Come into a seated position, whatever way you can get there. I forgot something. Let's come into that lizard position one more time. So, come back. Sorry, we're going to have to do the jump through one more time. This is why I don't edit these classes, so you can see my thought process in action. Left knee towards the center of the mat. Cross your right knee behind your left knee. Sink your hips back. Walk over to the left a little bit if you're here, or come back, sitting back on your butt. Just hang out with it. Take a couple big breaths. All right, then make your way out of it slowly. Hands down. Step your right foot back, step your left foot back. Let's just do that vinyasa one more time, because why the hell not? Lean forward, lower down. Inhale, chest up. Thinking about one motion. Press your hips back like a spring. Step forward. There you go. You just get a little extra practice. This time you guys get to see my non-confused face as I realize that I did complete the whole class with you. So let's just take a little side bend and finish things up. Left hand crawls over to the left. Right hand comes up and over. Root down through the outside edge of your right hip. Maybe look up underneath your armpit. Really stretch through your right fingertips. Inhale one more time. With your exhale, all the way over to the other side. Right hand down, left hand comes up and across. Reaching, spread your fingers. Maybe a little bit deeper. Left hip anchored to the floor, chest high. And then bring it up one more time. Inhale, both hands reach up. Exhale, fold forward over your shins. Just kind of wiggle down into it. Sukhasana. Relaxing the back of your neck. Nice and light. Walking yourself back up to a comfortable seated position. We're going to finish our practice seated today. Just taking a moment with your hands on your thighs, turn your palms up, roll your shoulders back. So you make your way into the rest of your day, whatever length of day you got left in front of you. Just take a moment for 5 big breaths. Relax all the muscles in your face, especially around the corners of your eyes and the corners of your mouth. Feel your shoulders draw back as your chest lifts. Nice tall posture. Feel your rib cage move and expand with your inhale. Sigh it out with your exhale. Let's do that 2 more times. All right, guys, make your way into 2021 with grace and ease. Thanks for being here. Namaste.